alert via the chat or message. So if you have something going on in your body, you're not feeling well, you have an injury, as always, feel free to watch. You can learn by watching. You can even close your eyes and visualize that you're doing it. There's a lot of research to say that you can learn that way as well. So feel free to do that. I know as we go through the semester, you guys are getting busy and have a lot of commitments, and that is impacting you physically sometimes. So thank you for those of you who reached out to let me know what's going on. We're going to get started moving pretty quickly this morning. Before we start, just thumbs up, thumbs down, like sideways thumb. How are you feeling this morning? Yeah. Oh, okay. I like your honesty. No one ever gives a thumbs down. And I know sometimes people want to, they just do this. So I interpret this as maybe a thumbs down. So thank you for that. I just wanted to talk quickly about the article you guys read last week. I'm not going to insult your intelligence because I know you can all read, but it was the 38 benefits of yoga. And I hope you found that interesting because as we move through this semester, I think a lot of you have learned a lot about the depth of yoga, right? It's not just flexibility. It can help with blood pressure. It can help with your spine. It can help with anxiety and depression. And so I don't want to sit here and talk at you. This is a PE class, so really you guys took this to move, but I hope you find those articles interesting. And if you find them interesting and want to learn more, you can always, Google it and learn more. And hopefully it will impact the way you guys feel, and maybe you can help people in your life who are struggling with some of those things by introducing them to yoga at some point. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just going to ensure that everyone is muted here. And then we're going to start differently today. So we've been starting seated. We're actually going to start on our backs today. So actually how we end class, you can go ahead and just find a comfortable position on your back. You can be in traditional corpse pose with your legs extended out straight, or you can have the knees bent, soles of the feet to the mat. And then just let the arms rest wherever is comfortable just to start. And as you settle in here, I just realized I shouldn't keep you here too long because it's 8 o'clock on a Friday morning and you're all gonna fall back asleep. Just take a moment and notice how you feel this morning. Just notice the quality of your breath. Does it feel shallow or does it feel deep? Does it feel fast or slow? And then just rest your hands on your belly. So your upper arms can rest on the mat and the palms of the hands just rest softly on the belly. Take an inhale through the nose. Just feel the belly gently lift as you do that. And soft exhale out the mouth, feel the belly soften. Inhale through the nose, belly expands. Exhale through the mouth, belly contracts. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And then inhale through the nose. This time exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Then just reach your arms up by your ears. Nice big stretch through the fingertips. Maybe the toes of the legs are straight. And then just hug your knees towards your chest. So hands behind the thighs or around the shins. Just a gentle rock side to side. So you just feel the weight shift from side to side in the back. And then come to stillness with the knees hugged in. Keep the right knee in. Just extend the left leg onto the mat. And if having the left leg straight feels pretty intense for you, you can bend the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot to the mat. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that tension off. And then you just have a couple breaths right here. And then just change sides, hug the left knee towards the chest, extend the right leg either straight onto the mat, or maybe you have that right knee bent. Just a couple soft breaths here. And then hug both knees in towards the chest. Keep the knees bent. Just drop the feet down to the mat and walk your feet out wide so they're the long edges of your mat. Take your arms out to a T or maybe cactus if your space is tight. And then just drop your knees gently over to the right so they don't have to go all the way to the floor, just whatever feels good. And then bring the knees through center and drop them over to the left. So you can just start to take that movement on your own, bringing the knees through center and just windshield wipering them side to side. This is one of my favorite go-to moves in the morning, just to kind of wake everything up. And then bring the knees back up to center and just walk your feet closer together so your feet are hips distance apart. And just bring your arms down by your sides. We'll just take some movement with the arms here. So inhale, reach the arms towards the ceiling and up by the ears. And exhale, just return the arms back down by the side. Couple more just like that. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Exhale, lower them down. Inhale, lift them up. And exhale, lower. And then just keep the arms where they are. Inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips, low back, mid back. And exhale, lower back down. Two more like that. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Now we're going to combine those two. So inhale as you lift the hips, take the arms up by the ears. Exhale, lower the hips, lower the arms. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And then just hug your knees in towards your chest. Roll yourself off to one side, just so you can use your top hand and press yourself all the way up to seated. Just finding a comfortable seat with the legs here. Just take your chin down towards your chest and roll your right ear to your right shoulder. And then take the chin to the chest, left ear, left shoulder. And then bring the chin to the chest. Lift the head back to neutral. Reach the arms up by the ears and take your right hand down. Just a nice side bend, reaching through the left fingertips. One of my students yesterday said she loves these side bends and she wants me to put more in class. So maybe some of you feel that way too. I think they feel really good. Come back to center, reach the arms up and take it to the other side. And then come back to center, reach both arms up, Just lower them down, hands next to the hips, and change the cross of the legs. If your legs are crossed, opposite shin in front. And then reach the arms up by the ears again. Take your right hand to your right shoulder, reach up through the left fingertips. And then start to alternate that left fingertips to shoulder, reach through the right. We've done this before. And then just start to take that movement at your own pace. And then come back upright, both arms up. Just lower the arms down and make your way into tabletop. So you can take your hips over to the side or maybe cross directly over the shins. Starting with the shoulders over the wrist, we'll take some circles with the shoulders around the wrist to start. So lean the shoulders forward towards the fingertips, doesn't have to be far. And then take the shoulders to the right and then back and to the left of the wrist. So just starting to take those circles on your own. They can be any size, any pace. Feel the weight shift in the hands, feel the wrists, the forearms. And then take that the opposite direction. And then just come into stillness and tabletop. We'll take some cat-cow. So inhale, draw the chest forward, drop the belly for cow. And exhale, curl the spine for cat. Inhale, extend the chest forward. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, extend forward. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl and round. And then just come back to a neutral spine and tabletop. Bring your big toes together and sit your hips back. Take a couple breaths in child's pose. And then come up to tabletop. Extend your right leg back so the ball of the right foot is resting on the mat. You can just gently press that right heel back behind you. So I'm just going to talk while we're doing this. So you guys are starting to learn the basics and you're able to kind of listen and follow. So I'm just going to add some things in today's class that are not the poses of the day. They're just for fun to keep it interesting. So you can just follow along and don't worry about being perfect. So take your right leg up and back so it's parallel to the mat. Spin the right toes to the right, and then take that foot all the way to the right and lower that right foot down in line with your hip. So your right leg is out to the side, perpendicular to your body. You got it. You guys can do it with me unless you have an injury. And then walk your hands back towards your left knee and just slowly come all the way upright. So your torso's upright, shoulders are over hips. Good. Take your arms up by your ears. And then take your right hand towards your right leg. Take a side bend towards that straight leg. You got it. You have just a breath here. And then come up through center, both arms by the ears. Really slowly take your time. Start to take that left hand down to the mat. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Now you can stay right here if you want. You're going to lift your right leg so it's parallel to the mat, holding there for a breath. It's harder than it looks, right? Lower that foot back to the mat. Really slowly come back upright. Both arms are up by the ears. You got it. And then nice and easy, lower the hands under the shoulders. You're back in tabletop in your upper body. Nice. Take your right leg up and back behind you. And then just lower that back to tabletop. So you're in tabletop, wiggle your hips side to side. And then come back to stillness. Extend the left leg back, the ball of the foot's resting on the mat to start, and just press that left heel gently back. So remember, this is just for fun, these things we're doing. So just explore and see how it feels for you. If it's new, it might be challenging. Take that left leg up and back. Spin the toes to the left. Take that foot all the way over to the left so that leg is extended out straight to the side. Walk the hands back towards the right knee. Come all the way upright, arms up by the ears. And then take that left hand towards your straight leg. Take a side bend. Have a breath here. And then come upright, both arms up. Really slowly start to take that right hand down to the mat. The left arm is reaching up. And you can stay here, or if you want, you can lift the left leg parallel to the mat. Hold it there. This is good core work to strengthen around the torso, which is really good. And then lower that foot down. Come all the way back upright, both arms by the ears. Nice and controlled, lower your hands down under your shoulders. Take that left leg up and back behind you. Lower it down and then wiggle your hips side to side. Now bring your big toes together, sit to child's pose again. You have a couple breaths here. And then make your way up through tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. First, downward facing dog. Maybe you bend one knee, straighten the other, and just alternate that, or pedaling out the feet, the backs of the legs. Maybe you gently shake your head, yes and no. And then just gently walk your feet forward to your hands, coming to your standing forward fold at the front of the mat. Just have a couple breaths here. Knees can be really bent. You can reach for opposite elbows, sway the torso side to side. And then release your hands down to the mat. On an inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, fold back forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach the arms by the ears. Exhale, hands down to the heart. We'll start nice and easy. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Just link breath to movement. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Adding on, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen the chest forward. Good. Exhale, fold back forward. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And we'll move into sun salutation A with modified plank. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to modified plank so your knees are down. Just hold there for your inhale, lift your belly. Exhale, slow, controlled, lower all the way down. Inhale, lift head and shoulders for cobra. And exhale, lower down, press through tabletop to downward facing dog. You have 5 breaths today in down dog. That's traditional sun salutation A. We've been building up to that every week, but as always, if you feel tired or you have any discomfort, knees drop for tabletop. You have 2 more breaths. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, standing forward, fold front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to do that same thing with just a little added movement, so just pay attention. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to modified plank. Take an inhale here. You can hold here. Or exhale, bend your elbows, come halfway down like you're taking a half push-up. Inhale, straighten your arms, push back up to modified plank. Oh, that's hard. Exhale, halfway down, especially Friday morning at 8. Inhale, press back up, straighten your arms. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. That's over. Inhale, lift head and shoulders for cobra. Exhale, lower down, press through tabletop. Downward facing dog. Again, you have 5 breaths here, nice and easy. And then walk your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, go straight to downward facing dog. Step your feet back. And then drop your knees down to the mat, big toes together. Come back to child's pose. Just take several breaths here in child's pose. And then you can just come upright to seated. So any position that feels good for you, just so you can watch. So I'm going to introduce the first pose of the day, and I feel like maybe you've done this in some of the videos that you've done, so it might not be completely new to you, but it's a standing lunge pose called crescent lunge. And I'll give you the names at the end of the chat like I always do, but you can just watch me. So we'll do this together in a moment. We're gonna come into it from standing. I know my head's cut off, but you can see my legs. So we'll start with the hands on the hips, and we'll take the right foot back. So you can take one giant step like that, which is tricky, or you can take some baby steps coming to the ball of the foot. So once you're back, you're on the ball of the back foot. The front knee is directly over the ankle. If you start to take your knee forward, you might get a little discomfort or pain. So just try and keep that knee stacked over the ankle. And then once you're there, arms will come up by the ears. And this is tricky. You might have just seen like I'm a little wobbly in this pose. So it's a little harder. You have your back heel lifted, so you don't have as much stability when both feet are flat. So you might feel a little rocky in this pose. So let's try it. You guys are seated, right? You can just come up to standing. We'll just meet in mountain pose at the front of the mat. So once you're standing front of the mat, bring your hands to your hips. We'll start by taking the right foot back. So again, you can take one giant step or baby step so you're on the ball of your right foot. Check out that left knee right over the ankle. Good. Take your arms up by your ears. And always you can opt to have your hands on your hips if you want. You have 2 breaths right here, just so you can kind of get the hang of it. And then bring your hands to your hips. Put weight into your left foot. Take your time as you bring your right foot to meet it. So you're back in mountain pose with the hands on the hips. We'll take the other side, so nice and easy, left foot back, 1 giant step or baby steps. So you're on the ball of your left foot, your right knee is stacked over your right ankle. And then take the arms up by the ears. And notice if you feel a little wobbly here, you can shorten your stance and bring your back foot a little closer to your front foot. So you can play with that. And then bring your hands to your hips. Put weight into your right foot, bring your left foot forward. So we're back in mountain pose. Just extend your fingertips down. So that's called crescent lunge. We're going to come into it now from a standing forward fold. We've been doing this a little bit with some other poses. So just follow along with me. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins or thighs. And exhale, plant your hands. Take your right foot back for a lunge. You're on the ball of your right foot. So now you're like, oh, we have to get upright. So this is the tricky part. Take your time. Press into the left heel. Draw the belly up towards the spine and really slowly come all the way upright to that crescent lunge. So torso lifts, arms reach up by the ears. Good. That transition's a little tricky, so take some getting used to. You might feel a little wobbly. Take an inhale here. Exhale, hands frame your front foot, bring your back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, left foot back for a lunge, big step or baby steps. Take your time here, press into the right heel, draw the belly up and in, and slowly come upright with the torso. Take your arms by your ears. Nice. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, hands frame your foot, bring your back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to take that same thing, we're going to come into a crescent lunge, and then we're going to take some arm movement. So if you already feel like a little unsteady in crescent, you're just going to stay with your arms by your ears. I'm going to let you choose what you want to do. So on your inhale, reach your arms up by your ears. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, right foot back for your lunge. Inhale, nice and slowly come up into crescent, arms by the ears. And then on your exhale, just bend your elbows so you have this cactus position. Pause there for your inhale. Exhale, bring the arms in front of you, close them towards each other. Inhale, open the arms back up. Exhale, close them together. Inhale, open them back up. Good. Exhale, close. Inhale, arms up by the ears this time.
Y'all join.
Exhale, hands frame the foot, bring your back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot back for a lunge. Inhale, come up crescent, arms up by the ears. Exhale, bend your elbows so you're in cactus. Inhale, just hold here. Exhale, bring the arms in front of you, close them together. Inhale, open the arms up. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Exhale, hands frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to modified plank so your knees are down. Take an inhale right here. We're going to take the half push-ups. Exhale, bend the elbows, come halfway down. Inhale, straighten the arms, press back to modified plank. Exhale, come halfway down. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Inhale for cobra, lift head and shoulders. And exhale, lower down, press through tabletop, downward facing dog. Give 3 breaths this time. And then drop your knees to the mat, take your hips to your heels, take a child's pose. And just notice how you're feeling. So we're starting to add more movement, more challenging poses. Maybe you're starting to get warm or your breath has started to get fast. And make your way up through tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips for down dog. And then walk your feet and your hands towards each other. So you're coming to a standing forward fold at the center of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. And then just bring your hands to your hips, feet hips distance apart. And come into a standing balance, so if you want to turn, if it's easier to see me, you can do that. And then lift your right heel, spin your right knee to the right, and pull the right heel to the inner left ankle. You can stay there if you want. That foot can elevate to the inner calf. And if you want, hands can come to the heart. And then if you want, arms can reach up by the ears. And then the last option, you can take your right hand and reach for your left wrist. Reach up through the left fingertips and take a gentle side bend to your right. So, that makes it harder. It doesn't have to be a big side bend. Those look good. And then come back upright, release the wrist if you have it. Bring the hands down to the heart. Hug that right knee towards the center of the chest. And nice and controlled, lower the foot, lower the arm, shake it out. And then bring the hands to the hips again, feet hips distance apart. Lift the left heel, spin the left knee out, and pull that heel to the inner ankle. You can stay there or lift to the inner calf. There's no rush. I know you know where you're going now, but take your time. And then bring your hands to your heart if you want. And then maybe the arms reach up by the ears. Maybe you take your left hand, reach for the right wrist, almost fall like I did. Reach up through the right fingertips and take a gentle side bend over to your left. And come back to center, release the wrist if you have it. Bring the hands down to the heart. Ooh, I'm all over the place today. Hug your left knee towards your chest. And then lower the foot, lower the arm, shake it out. I always blame the cloudiness. I know it has nothing to do with it, but it's nice to blame something else other than myself. All right, come to the front of your mat, mountain pose right there. Ground through both feet, gently lift up through the top of the head. Feel that length in your spine and that steadiness in having both feet on the mat. On your inhale, reach your arms up by your ears. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, take your right foot back for a lunge again. We're coming back to crescent pose. Come all the way upright. Reach your arms up by your ears. And then once you're there, I'm going to scooch back here. I know it's going to be hard to see. Interlace the fingers so you have a clasp with your hands, and your pointer fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling. So arms are by the ears. You just have this interlace of the hands and fingers. And then just release the clasp, arms up by the ears. Take an inhale right there. Exhale, hands bring the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Exhale, hands down to heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot back for a lunge. Inhale, come up to crescent, arms up by the ears. Again, interlace the fingers. Pointer fingers are still pointing up towards the ceiling. Now you can't see me. You guys look like you've got it. I can't see your hands either. The problems of Zoom. And then unwind the hands, reach the fingertips up, take an inhale here. Exhale, hands frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up, last sun salutation. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank or modified plank. Take an inhale here. We're not going to do the push-up. And then exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Inhale for cobra, lift head and shoulders. And exhale, lower down, press through tabletop. Last down dog, you have 3 breaths right here. And then drop your knees, come into child's pose, hips back to heels. And then just come through tabletop. Make your way back to seated. This is actually the second pose of the day officially. I know we've done more than 2 new things today. Soles of the feet will come together and knees out wide. We've actually done this one before. It's called bound angle, A-N-G-L-E. I'll type it at the end, bound angle. So for some of you, your knees will be up, some people's knees will be down, just depends on the structure of your body. And if you're uncomfortable with your feet close to your body, you can push the feet further away from you. So you decide where you feel good. You can keep the torso upright here, or you can start to hinge forward with the torso. I like to think of bringing the belly button towards the heels. So again, bound angle pose. You have a couple more breaths, just holding right here. And then just lengthen your chest forward, come all the way back upright. Extend your legs straight out in front of you. You can just gently flex the toes up towards the ceiling here. And then let the hands rest next to the hips. So your hands are so light you could lift them. You're really using your torso and core muscles to keep you upright. And then you can keep the hands just gently next to the hips, or if you want, arms will come up by the ears. It's your choice. You have a couple of breaths wherever you are. And then if your arms are down, just take them by the ears and then slowly start to hinge from the hips as you come forward. Let the hands just rest wherever they fall. So for me, it's the top of the shins. Maybe some of you it's the feet. Maybe some of you it's the mat next to your legs. Just close your eyes. Notice where you feel sensation in your body. I would guess that most of us feel something here. Maybe it's the backs of the legs or your back. Just take an inhale through your nose. Soft exhale out the mouth, let everything soften. Inhale through the nose. Soft exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And just notice if any of those sensations have changed or your body moved in any small way. And then lengthen your chest forward, come all the way back upright. Just scoot yourself to the front of the mat, knees bent, soles of the feet flat. You can keep fingertips on the mat or take the hands behind the knees and lift both feet up so both shins are parallel to the mat. It's hard to see me, I have so much stuff behind me. And then if you want, fingertips are gonna reach forward and we're just holding here. So even though your body is still, try not to hold your breath. It's kind of the natural inclination here. So just take an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. You have one more breath here. Maybe you smile. Inhale through the nose. Did anyone actually smile? Probably not. Exhale through the nose. I can't see your faces. Drop your feet down to the mat. Take the hands behind the knees and roll yourself all the way back to your back. Keep your knees bent, pull the heels close to the body, and just take your arms down by your sides. Press into the feet, roll up like we did in the beginning. This time we'll hold hips, low back, mid back, come up. Just take a couple of breaths here with the hips elevated. And then lower the hips all the way down and just pause there for a breath. Everything's resting on the mat. And then one more time, press into the feet, roll all the way up, hips are elevated. And then lower all the way down, keep the hips down, pause for another breath. And then hug both knees in toward your chest. So hands can go behind the thighs or around the shins. And then cross your right thigh over your left thigh. So it's like you're sitting in a chair with your legs crossed, right thigh over left. Hands can go behind the thighs and hug them towards the chest. You might be thinking, Kara, my body doesn't do that, or that doesn't feel good. It's not for everyone. You can unwind the legs and just keep your knees hugged towards your chest. You have about 3 or 4 more breaths on this side. And then if the thighs are crossed, unwind that. Just hug both knees in towards the chest for a moment. Notice if the right and left leg or hip feel different or the same. And then take your left thigh over your right thigh, hands behind the thighs to hug them in again if it's not for you. Knees are just hugged towards the chest. And if the thighs are crossed, just unwind them. So hug the knees towards the chest. Take your arms to a T or cactus and then drop the legs over to the right for your simple twist. So we're just starting to cool down and unwind. So you don't have to force your breath to be any certain way here. Just let the breath relax and return to its natural rhythm. And then draw the knees up through center, take them over to the other side. And then bring the knees back to center. Just hug them in towards the chest. Maybe give yourself a tiny little hug here. And then just release your legs and come into your variation of corpse pose here. Just wiggle around so you can make sure you find a place that's really comfortable where you feel like you can be still. I'm going to do something a little different today. So I'm going to give you some time of silence. And I think it's the longest time I've ever given you, although I think you've had this in your meditations. And I know sometimes being in silence can feel uncomfortable if you're not used to it. So there are some things you can do to help you stay focused. One would be just to bring awareness to your breath. So maybe it's helpful to just feel the rise and fall of the belly like we did at the beginning. Hands could even rest on the belly. Or maybe you take yourself to your favorite place. Maybe you like the beach and you can just imagine yourself there and really soak in that place. Those are just some ideas. Now you have a little bit of silence. Just let this be a gift to you before you go about your day. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your ankles and wrists. Reach your arms up by your ears, nice big stretch. And then just roll off to one side, pause on your side with your eyes closed. Use your top hand to press yourself all the way up to a comfortable seated position. You can just rest your hands in your lap and keep your eyes closed. When you create a difference in someone's life, you not only impact their life, you impact everyone influenced by them throughout their entire lifetime. No act is ever too small. One by one, this is how to make an ocean rise. Bring your hands up to heart center. You all have a wonderful rest of your day. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right, thank you guys. So tell me, that was 4 minutes on your back. Did that feel easy or hard, or somewhere in between? Oh. I like your honesty. I was surprised at how many thumbs up I got, actually. Last week in my Tuesday, Thursday class, I had someone ask for more quiet time at the end, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy. In my longer classes at studios, I give 10 minutes in quiet. So, oh my gosh, I know 10 minutes, it sounds like forever, an eternity. Okay, so let me just recap the poses for you. So crescent lunge and bound angle. So unfortunately, you have to go from either seated to standing or standing to seated today. So you can get into crescent however you want. It's probably easiest just to step back and take your arms up. And don't feel like you have to be perfect. You might wobble. It's okay. Like, I understand you're new to this. So don't think you have to film this 500 times. So you'll come into crescent, and then you can make your way down to your seat. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide for bound angle. So that is it. I think that's it. You guys know how to find all your assignments. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Please make sure you're checking your grade. You know where you stand, so there's no questions. We're like halfway through the semester, if you can believe that. So I just want to make sure we all know where we stand. So that is it. I will see you guys next week. Have a good week until I see you again. Stay safe.